I hope you enjoyed the last lesson about simple past. So, as we learned about time expressions of the simple past, I think it's relevant to bring to you prepositions, right? Which are at, on, in, and by, right? But for these prepositions, I bring a very different, let's say, point of view, bringing three sorts. First, we're going to talk about transportation. Then we're going to talk about prepositions that we use to talk about place and time, right? Now, starting with at, right? We don't use this preposition for transportation, as you see, it's blank here. We cannot use it for transportation. But we can use it for place and time. How? Because it means a specific place or a specific time. Now, let's just look at on, right? So first we're going to talk about transportation, then place, then time. So looking at transportation, we have as the first preposition on. When do we use on? We use it when we're talking about means of transportations that are big, okay? Vehicles that are huge, and normally we share them with other people. So for example, can I say I am by the bus, meaning I'm inside the bus? No, but I can say I am on the bus because it's a big vehicle and I share it with many people. I can also say I'm on the plane and I can also say I'm on the train. Now, can I say I'm in the bicycle? So when we talk about, for example, bicycle, should I say I'm in the bicycle? You know, a bicycle is an object that you don't go inside of it, you just sit on top of it, right? So then you say, I am on the bicycle. Now, is a bicycle something big? Is it a mean of transportation that is very big? No. But then we use on because you sit on it, right? You just sit on it. Now, we also need to pay attention with boats. We can have big boats that you share with other people. For example, if you're going from Mashish to Inyaban on the crossing, you can say, I'm on the boat, right? Because that boat is big. But imagine it's that small little boat that you just sit inside by yourself and then you row. For that one, you don't say, I'm on the boat, you say, I'm in the boat, right? And we have the other preposition, which is in. When we talk about in, we normally express the position of you being inside something, being contained inside something, right? So here, for example, when you are in your little car, you say, I'm in the car, because it's small, it's for one person, it's small, and you are exactly inside. So you say, I'm in the car. The same happens with a taxi. Normally a taxi, you pay for it, and then automatically it becomes your taxi for some time, right? So when you pay for it, it means it's your car, right? They take you from one place to the other like it is your car. So then you say, I'm in the taxi. Remember, it's something small. It contains you, and normally it is yours. Sorry for that. Now, that's why you say, I'm in, right? When you talk about transportation. And the last one is by. By, normally, we use it when we want to say how we got to that place. How did you get here? Well, I came by a car, right? How did you get here? For me, I came here by a plane, right? Some people would get to school by train, some by boat, but most of us go to school by foot. By foot, it means that's how we get there, right? We don't drive, we just walk. Great. Now, talking about location or place, the same way of thinking about this preposition is the same. It just changes from one perspective to the other. Remember here we said we don't have, and let's say it's not applicable at, but for location, yes, it does. And we use it for specific purpose. For example, I am at school. It means I'm at school. I'm not outside, I'm not somewhere close by. I am at school. It means that point. Now I am at the classroom. I'm inside the classroom. Okay. On. When you're on something, it means you are on top of it, right? For example, you have space. You are just in one of those spaces. Let's say, for example, I am in the classroom, but I am on the floor. It means this floor, I'm on top. On one part of it, I'm standing on it, right? Just like you see the apple is on. It's on. The marker is on my hand, okay? It's not in, there's no way it can be in my hand, it's too big, but it is on my hand, right? And the same thing, different from in is the same concept like car and taxi. Remember, you go inside of it. Just like when you talk about place, something is in when something is contained, it is inside. I am in the classroom because I have 1, 2, 3, 4 walls, and then it becomes a box, so I'm inside of it, right? Just as the apple is in the bucket, right? It's not outside, it's in. And to finish, we have by, right? So by simply means close to or near, okay? Or near, right? For example, my house is by the market. It means my house is not at the market, but it is close to the market, right? Meet me by my house. I'm saying meet me somewhere close to my house, okay? I'm not saying meet me by my house, you're coming straight to my house. But if I said meet me at my house, it means you're going to come straight at my house. Not outside, not somewhere close by, but at my house, specific. While by is more close, okay? Now, to finish, we're going to talk about prepositions of time. Now, we use at, on, in, and by, also with time. Now, how do we distinguish all of these three? For time, it's easy. When we talk about at, we mean specific time, okay? For example, school finishes at 12. It means when it gets to 12 o'clock, everyone is going out. It stops here. Meet me at 6 p.m. I'm not saying meet me at 6 or 5. No. Meet me at 6 p.m. When it gets to 6 p.m., that's the time that you should be with me. And we also use it for some parts of the day. For example, noon, night, and midnight, right? So we say, for example, I will come to your house at noon, or I will come to your house at night. This is specific time, at night, not daytime, at night, at midnight, okay? And we have here as an example, my bus to Mapinyani leaves at noon. So this is the time that the bus leaves. So we use at to express time, right? On. With on is also the same concept like here and here. Remember, a day has 24 hours. Okay, remember this. A day has 24 hours. It means, if I'm talking about 1 hour of that day, I'm still talking about 24 hours. For example, I can talk about, let's say, Monday, which is 24 hours, right? I will use on. So for the days, we normally use on. For Monday, I would say, come to my house on Monday. Not at Monday, not in Monday. Come to my house on Monday. Come to my house on Christmas Day. Okay? I want you to come to my house on my birthday. Okay? So this is all the words that would have day in them, mostly we use on. Okay, as an example, I will call you on Sunday, right? And when we talk about in, we are going to refer to things for a long time, a long period of time. For example, weeks, months, years, or seasons. Seasons, I'm talking about summer, winter, spring, and fall, right? So for these ones, we use in. For example, John will be coming from South Africa in 2 weeks. Not on 2 weeks, in 2 weeks he will be coming. So the period of time until he comes back is 2 weeks, right? Just like the rest of them. And we also use in for parts of the day. For example, in the morning, I go to school. In the afternoon, I play football. In the evening, I go to sleep. You understand? So then you use in for these parts of the day. And just to finish, we have by. By just shows the end of time. For example, I want you to watch this video and talk about this. Everything will be done by Friday. When I say, for example, by Friday, it means everything will stop at Friday. On Friday, right? So, by it ends the time. I would give you an example. We will finish the project by December, right? We will finish the project by December. So December is capital letter, don't forget that, right? December, like that, right? So by December means by December we should stop, we should finish the project. No more project by then. Thank you very much. I hope you learned a lot from this video, and I will see you next lesson. Don't forget to put your questions and doubts below. Take